Okay, it's time to code. So first off, we're gonna install ESPHP with Composer. For that, you just need to put this line of code in your composer.json in order to install Elasticsearch PHP low-level client, which we have talked about in the last episode. And after that, you can simply say actually, I have to cd into my sample. You can simply composer update. Since I have done this part, I'm going to skip this one and go to the next part. So you have to install this um, package first in order to go to the next step. Okay, after this, actually, if you in a Laravel 8, you have to put this line of code in order to make it happen for Laravel to run correctly, because I have tried to run some route without this line of code and I have faced some kind of error. So I think you're gonna need this line in your route service provider. If not, then good for you. Okay, I'm going to define a route, a get route, which is going to be in our home controller, and I think I'm going to name it index. And in our home controller, uh, first off, I'm going to define my index method. Sorry for that. Okay, in order to use Elasticsearch client, first I'm going to run actually my Elasticsearch, which we have done it plenty of times before, and I'm going to wait for it. Okay, don't forget to run your Elastic first, otherwise you're gonna get some kind of error in your browser, which is going to mean that your Elastic is not run. Okay, and likewise, I'm going to run my Kibana just in case we need to see what happens. And I'm not gonna wait for this one. All right, first we're going to use our Elasticsearch package. Okay, Elasticsearch backslash client builder. All right, and in our um, index method, we're going to define just one time our client, which is going to be client builder create and build. What this going to do for us is to make some kind of client in order for us to work with it and do our CRUD operations. Okay, and I have brand my PHP Artisan serve in order for me to have the Elasticsearch, and if I refresh, I'm going to get a blank page, which is fine. And let's do the CRUD operation on our Elasticsearch PHP low-level client. First off, I'm going to index a document. For that, I'm going to need some kind of JSON data, which is going to be passed to the client, which I have already created. So I say params, it's an array. So I say in what index I need my document to be saved. Let's say sample index for now. You can say whatever you want, and I assign an ID to it. I say sample ID, and for the body, which is going to be the body of our doc, I say actually the price is equal to, okay, this is wrong. Okay, the price is equal to 3,400. It's better to put it in one quote. Okay, and it's going to be like this, and I think it's some kind of error. Okay, and for the other thing, I say name is equal to sample product, and the description is equal to my description. Of course, you can say anything else, anything you want. Okay, I have made my document. And how do I persist this document to my index? It's really simple. I say my response is equal to client index, and I pass the params. Okay, in order for us to make sure that it ran correctly, I can just dd my response. All right, if I run this, you can see that my index has been created, and of course my doc has been persisted successfully in my sample index. You can see the metadata, which says it's successfully saved in the sample index. Okay, how about getting the document? If you let me, I comment this part, and for that I can just say params, and I specify the index, which is going to be sample index, and the ID. So the ID is sample ID. Of course, as you may know, we could have skipped the ID and the Elastic would have assigned an automatic ID to our document, which was completely fine. So for finding the document, I say response is equal to client. Okay. How about typing out the whole thing? Actually, I have to uncomment this line because I need the client part, and I can say get params. As you can see, there are two parameters which is going to be absolutely necessary to get a document. The index, which is going to be the index responsible for having the document, and the ID, which is the ID of that specific document we are getting. Okay, if I run this, okay, actually I can dd the response. Okay, we have found it. We have found our document. If I go to the source, all right, it's our document. Okay, how about updating the document? How can we actually do that? It's completely easy. I can say params and our index, which is going to be sample index, and the ID is sample ID, and with the body we want to be updated is actually the doc, and in the doc associative array I can update, for example, my price, and say my price is equal to 5,100. Okay, there are one more zeros. Okay, and for updating, I can say response is equal to client update params. And for getting the response, I can DD the response as per usual. I hit refresh and I'm getting an error. Okay, what went wrong? I can simply go through the code. We have provided sample index and the body, and we have updated the price. Okay, I think because it says document missing, I think there is something wrong with our document. Okay, yes, there it is. It should be without any uh, added space. Okay, I hit refresh again, and here we go. Okay, we have updated our document, and for getting completely sure, we can just get our document once again and see if the price is updated. All right, it's 500,000. Okay, so we have successfully updated our document. Before I get to the deleting part, let me just go to the Kibana and see if our index is present. Okay. Um, we can simply go to the dashboard, and we can create a dashboard with our new um, index. And if you don't like that, we can go straight to the index itself with stack management, index management, and as you can see, there is our sample index with one document. I can hit enter and I can see the setting, mapping, the stats. It says it has two shards and other additional information, and we can absolutely edit the setting. So there is our sample index. So we can safely delete our sample index. For that, we say params is equal to index, which is going to be deleted, is sample index. Let me just comment this out. And for the ID is actually we are deleting documents, not the index itself. We say sample ID. Okay. And if we say response is equal to client simply say delete params, it'll go and delete the document. You can say response to see it. If I refresh, as you can see, the result is deleted. Okay, I can refresh, but you can see the document is not present, so it will not delete the not document. Okay, actually, we can simply go ahead and get the document so we can make sure that there is no document with sample ID. So we have successfully deleted our uh, document. So if you need to delete the index itself, there is actually a convenient way to do that. We can go ahead and comment this out, and for deleting the index, you can say params is equal to the index itself. just the index, which is going to be sample index. And for the API, we are going to call, which is going to be response is equal to client indices delete and params. So we can just dd that for seeing the acknowledged. And if I hit refresh, as you can see, is acknowledges true. So if I refresh my Kibana, you can see there is no sample index anymore. So we have successfully deleted our index. So as you saw in this episode, we have tried to run our CRUD operation with Elasticsearch PHP low-level client. It's good for basic usages, but as you will see in the next actually module, we are going to cover the high-level clients to work with Elasticsearch in Laravel, which is going to be easier and more clean than this one.